We'll now call the regular meeting order. Is now 7 o'clock. Requirements of the Sunshine Law have been met. This meeting was advertised in the Burlington County Times. Electronic notice was given to the NJAC 5:39-1.5. We will now start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence. Roll call.
Committeewoman Dr. Caldwell.
Present.
Committeewoman Ms. Maddox Cantine.
Present.
Committeeman Mr. Carr.
Here.
Committeewoman Mungo did say that she would be absent this evening. Mayor Henley.
Present.
Also present, the Township Solicitor, the Township Clerk, the Township Administrator, Deputy Township Administrator, Captain Beery, the Fire and EMS Chief, and the Public Works Director, Chris Hill.
We will now have approval of minutes, June 29, 2025, special meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I make second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Cantine.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
July 8, 2025, regular meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion?
I noticed that some of the pages look like they might have been smudged. I don't know if these are PDF scans of images, so maybe just next time when you're preparing it, just make sure that they're legible, unless it's really my eyes that are playing tricks on me. And then also on page, I'm going just by the packet, it looks like it's page 16, which contains the police report. It doesn't have a page number of the police report. I'll just kind of hold it up, maybe you can see it, but it's the matrix of the monthly police reports. The July column is completely empty, so normally we do get the monthly reports with all of the statistics related to some of these specific, very discrete activities that the departments engage with. So I don't know if it was an omission or if I have the wrong information from when I downloaded earlier. So it would be helpful to kind of get that data. My other comment is on agenda item 12. It's the consent agenda resolutions. It's 12C. It's the resolution 123-25, the financial advisor resolution. And that should be page 90 of the packet, if you're looking at it, or at least it might track to page 90, at least when I downloaded it. That's just the text of the resolution. Pretty sure I said page 90. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it looks like it's 123. Maybe I have the page number wrong in the packet. Give me a second. It's 120. Is it, oh, maybe it's page 60, Bob, in the packet. Yeah, sorry, I guess I transposed the numbers. It's page 60 in the packet. It's just the text of resolution. My comment is, I'm not objecting to entering into the contract with the advisors. It looks like it might be a worthwhile service. The comment that I have is that I was taking a look at their website. They offer 12 services. So I was looking through the packet, and I didn't see the contract appended to the packet that I had access to. So I guess my comment is there a contract already in place to employ these folks, since you're going to be voting on this resolution? Number one. Number two, if there one isn't in place, can you give me the context of the structure of the contract at least? Are we contracting a la carte, picking and choosing of the 12 services that these advisors offer, or are we kind of doing an all-you-can-eat plan with them? The reason I'm asking about that is because some of their services potentially looks like they could overlap with the duties of bond counsel. Now, as you know, bond counsel is not specifically detailed in our ordinances. The duties of bond counsel is actually detailed in the contract per the RFP from 2024. So I have not had a chance to look at the contract to employ bond counsel, so I don't know what it says. But I would just like to double check to make sure that we're, quote, taxpayers aren't paying twice for the same services. You track what I'm saying on that? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I may have misunderstood. Was this for an open discussion on concerns for any issue, or?
No, anything that's on the agenda.
Okay, all right. I'll sit back down.
All right, we'll have another open forum in a moment,
Okay.
okay? We have now a motion to close public comment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance first reading, 9-2025, an ordinance of the Township of West Hampton to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of certain officials and employees of the Township of West Hampton for the year of 2025. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion for 9-25.
Second, Caldwell.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
Ordinance, second reading, 8-2025, an ordinance of the Township of West Hampton to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of certain officials and employees of the Township of West Hampton for the year of 2025 through 2028. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Open for public comment? Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
Resolution 109-25, revised resolution imposing a tax lien for the property of 33 Greenbrier Drive. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion for resolution 109-25.
Second, Caldwell.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
119-25, a payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through 8/12/2025. Do we have a motion?
Motion, Caldwell.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
121-25, resolution increasing the bid threshold with a qualifying purchasing agent. Do we have a motion?
Motion, Caldwell. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
121-25, resolution authorizing TDV tax exemption. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion for 121.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
Consent agenda resolution note. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. Can B be in here for the executive?
I think we've done it before.
I make a motion for the consent agenda.
Second, Caldwell.
Roll call?
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
Do we have, there's a discussion item, short-term rental ordinance? Yes, sir.
Thanks, Mayor. I just want to bring to the committee's attention a recent incident that involves our residents. There's a website called Homes by Swiftly, which is dedicated for homeowners renting out their home accessories such as pools, the backyard, gazebos, etc. At an hourly rate, depending on what website for them to contract with them. We've had, and I bring it to your attention because we've had a couple incidents at one particular address, which, we had a summer parties that got out of hand, received numerous complaints from neighbors, as well as multiple photographs and videos of the like as to the activity that is going on. Some of the activity, well, the parties were a couple of consecutive weekends on Saturdays and Sundays. One party did show guys standing in the driveway taking money from people before they were allowed to enter the backyard. Obviously, cover charge for that situation. Attendees that had guests were clearly certainly underage drinking, but possibly also juveniles. You had swimming and outdoor cooking areas and fireplaces and the like. There's concern in the neighborhoods that this is going to create an issue. Did create an issue for the neighbors, people milling about, parking wherever they want to park, which included people's lawns. The one in particular required our police officers to maintain presence there for somewhere around between 2 to 3 hours during the night, during the party hours. The police did issue the resident house ordinances that are creating disturbance, and there's a municipal court date currently, unless it is postponed. Right now it's set for August 15th. It is good to note that this past weekend there was no parties at that residence, so we're hoping that this has kind of reinforcement has put a stop to this resident playing right out of the property. There are other options available to the township. We don't have a home business ordinance, that prohibit this. So there's nothing that prohibits renting out of their amenities. There's nothing that prohibits renting out your home. And again, this doesn't necessarily mean that that's the direction we want to go. I merely want to bring it to the community's attention that we do have the potential option to introduce ordinance that prohibit rental of amenities, such as your pool, your backyard, gazebos, fireplace, etc. Another option is an ordinance that would prohibit all of that, plus rental of your home, short-term rentals of your home. Most of us know about Airbnb, and I think Room, various websites that you can do. So I raised it as a discussion item for you to consider. This obviously impacts our residents, both the residents that may be neighbors for this activity, but also to the residents who are, have these, let's say, very nice backyards that we, could accommodate, family parties and the like. Obviously, the danger is where we have parties that are potentially like our, potentially for people to rent out, have large parties that would certainly disturb any neighbors without having to go the country. So I want to bring it to your attention that there be some, guidance maybe or some, thoughts on your part. And again, the third option is certainly this year we're coming up to the end of swing season, right? Probably not going to have too many of these type situations. We want to just maintain enforcement, revisit this at a later time, do that as well. Enforcement of, creating this service. The downside of that is, we have to have people come in and testify in court that, they were disturbed, that there was a disturbance, that raised to a certain level of evidence that there was a disturbance in order to get a conviction, whereas simply renting out your property, you only have to prove that the property was rented, and it would be, a relatively easier course of action. So, but again, the police have taken the action, they've taken charging them with disturbing, creating disturbance. They certainly work at creating disturbance, so I have pretty good confidence that we will get some positive action on that. again, I think this is something that, the committee, one, want to be aware of, two, offer some thoughts or opinions on that, how we may not. All right?
What are the constitutional limits of passing the ordinance on the use of a private home for short-term rentals?
I know that it has been done in other towns. It's been an issue for at least the decade plus I've been doing municipal law, so we can look at if there have been challenges. But it's basically the zoning power of the township. Not looked into it for West Hampton specifically, but I know arguments have been made generally that in a residential zone, it does not permit commercial use or short-term, including short-term rental.
Who would be in charge of enforcing that?
So absent a specific ordinance that sets forth who does it, as Jim explained, I'd look to the zoning officer for enforcement of any kind of zoning violation, or the police for causing a nuisance, allowing a nuisance, or general disturbing the peace.
Is there a way, like, that we could police it, like, where people have to come in and get approval, and we only allow a certain amount of people, and they have to have, like, an officer present to have that, and that they have to compensate to make sure it doesn't cause a disturbance to the neighbors? And obviously, they have to have an approval, right, to be a certain amount of numbers, to have them sign, like the recreation has done, to where we still allow people to do things, but we're able to police it, make sure it stays under control, and make it at their expense. So if we have an officer there, they have to pay, and the officer has to want to be present, right? And then we know that people aren't getting paid to come in, et cetera, right? So the township protects itself.
Yeah, so just speaking in generalities, I don't know if West Hampton does, but some towns have temporary use permits, which they use for things like a block party. So, yes, there is the police power to do that. You'd have to establish by ordinance set what the fees would be and what the kind of objective criteria and standards would be for allowing it or disallowing it.
In this particular case, since we had to have police officers deployed to that residence for 2 to 3 hours, is there any way we can charge the resident?
No, not that I'm aware of. That the expense and disturbance to the township could be something that the court could take into consideration in the amount of fine. I don't know exactly what the charges were here, but the fines are usually up to $2,000 or something like that, and the judge is going to take into consideration the full extent of that if extreme amount of police had to show up, or there was a expenditure of a lot of municipal time and effort. I would hope that the prosecutor would present that to the court, and the court would take that in consideration.
Thank you.
Anyone else? And we'll move on to open meeting for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address for the record.
Alicia Picardi, 64 Rolling Hills Drive. I want to bring up a problem I've been having for the past year and a half. A neighbor who lives 2 houses from me, that's a townhome community, started to think it was a good idea to put out cat food for a couple of stray cats in her backyard. Colonies form when there is a food source, and one pregnant cat can cause the birth of 24 cats within 2 years, and that is exactly what has been happening. These cats are jumping into my yard, contaminating it with their urine, their feces. I have a cat of my own who keeps getting recurring upper respiratory infections because of this colony. I've seen up to 10 cats in my yard in the past 6 months. I have filed a complaint on the township website. I have filed a complaint with the health department. I have spoken to the neighbor about getting involved at least with a TNR program, and I was disregarded. I told her the effects this is having on my property and my own pet, and I was disregarded. What I keep being told is there is no ordinance in your township about this. When a person starts putting food out for strays, I understand it's out of a place of compassion, but there needs to be a plan in place, whether you take them to a shelter or you get involved with a trap, neuter, release program. Since this has been happening, I have had to purchase motion-activated sprinklers, motion-activated lights, spikes for my fence. It's taking a toll on me, and like I said, there is just no ordinance about this issue. And as well, when I spoke to the person from the health department, he said someone from the township did speak to the woman, but she could just keep doing what she was doing as a result of there being no ordinance. I don't know if there could be some sort of ordinance where you can apply for a permit and make some sort of proof that you're going to do something to keep a handle on the situation, because otherwise it's just going to explode, and it has exploded. And like I said, we are in townhomes, we have no woods behind us, we have no farmland around us, we are right on top of each other, and it is an unhealthy situation, to say the least, and that's just my concern at this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gary Riparian, 138 Winstead. Two comments in the public comment section. The first is I noticed in my development, young kids, I'm guessing their age is maybe 10 or under, they are riding on what I guess I would call a pocket bike. These are small, motorized, they look kind of like a motorcycle, I guess. I'm really skeptical of the efficacy of a child riding that. They typically don't operate that with a helmet. My guess is there's probably no class instruction on how to ride that bike. But a 10-year-old will actually have someone piggyback with him on the bike who's like a 3 or 4-year-old. So they got two kids on this thing. And I don't know how fast they go, but it looks like it's 10 miles an hour, maybe a little bit less, could be that, but they're weaving in and out of, parked cars. And we have all kinds of delivery vehicles on the streets. I don't know. Where do we stand with that? Just maybe something to think about, I guess. And the other comment, maybe keep it on our radar, and this is maybe where we can talk with our partners in Congress. There's a piece of legislation, it's H.R. 4072. The title of the act is called the Pro Codes Act. It's been reintroduced from the 118th Congress now into this Congress. I don't know if you're familiar with this piece of legislation. If you are, I can stop, but no? Okay. So essentially what...
You didn't give me a chance to answer. No, I'm joking.
What?
I said you didn't give me a chance to answer.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead, I'm joking.
Go ahead, Sandy.
After you.
This piece of legislation, the reason I'm bringing this up for us is because Congress wants to, if it does get passed, they're going to essentially give copyright ownership to all of these codes that get published. So this could impact us in the township, fire code, construction code, things like that. So if you all pass an ordinance saying we're going to incorporate by reference some international building code standard, that's fine. Technically, that's fine. The issue becomes, how do our code officials then get to understand and know this new code? Technically, they're going to make it available, quote, for free on some sort of public website. My guess is it's going to be pretty clunky to read. So essentially then what happens is that our code officials are probably going to have to enter into a training regimen, or they're going to have to buy materials from the actual publisher of the code itself. So there's going to have a fiscal impact if this gets passed and we have to adopt these standard codes for whatever reason. So my comment is, maybe we can find out from our representatives in the House and the Senate, kind of what their thinking is on this. I have tried to look at the New Jersey League of Municipalities website, but I haven't found anything. I don't know if you are tracking on this. And then lastly, maybe have our code official, construction official, fire code official, it's a big ask, have them read through the bill and see if they can kind of suss out what impact it would have on them if the bill were to pass and come into law. And then they could present to you, what the fiscal impact would be, on their department or their duties. And consequently, ultimately, that if there is going to be a cost, look, I get it. It's going to have to be passed on to us as the residents, right? So we kind of need to know that. And if that's going to be the case, maybe residents want to move ahead with their projects before any kind of increase does get passed on to them. So just to be good neighbors with everybody. Thanks.
Thank you.
Can you give me the phone again? What was the number?
It's HR 4072.
Thank you.
Thank you. No other comments? Do we have a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Dates to remember, Township Committee meeting September 2nd.
Ma'am, I'm pretty sure our fire code was on it, and he's going to give you a card so you can follow up. Captain Knott.
In the back. He's
Yeah,
over in
he's
the
in the
back.
back. Looks like that motorcycle rider guy. Yeah. But thank you, Gary, always very contributing to what's going on. Those, as far as those bikes, those are already regulated by the state. Anything under 50 cc is supposed to have a moped license. I think those are like marketed as off-road vehicles. The only way to enforce that, they got to call the police to come around. But thank you. That's all I have. I hope everyone's having a good summer.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. We had the pleasure of attending the National Night Out, run by our wonderful West Hampton Township Police Department. The event was extremely successful, well-attended, and it was good to be with my constituents and be with all the neighbors, people that I haven't seen in quite a while, kids having fun, laughing, eating, having a good time, and being neighborly to one another. So congratulations on yet another successful event. As far as school board, I attended the meeting last evening, and they're on their way to preparing and planning for a successful 25-26 school year. The first day of school for West Hampton Township Schools is September 4th, and for RV, it is September the 2nd. A little bit of information back from Burlington County as we volunteered to be liaison, myself and Committeewoman Maddox Canteen. Not much of an update other than just a friendly reminder that on September 23rd, yes, Tuesday, September 23rd, Commissioner Dr. Hobson will be back to give us another update. In the interim, I do go and get my own updates. I go to the Wawa, then I'll drive by and see what's going on. Construction is definitely underway. I believe the last time I went, flooring was being put in. So just to keep eyes on that situation, I think it's a very good idea to have her come every quarter just to tell us what's going on the inside of things. And that is all that I have for tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate your attendance. Just want to highlight a couple of things. Thank the police department for their annual Youth Police Academy. That was July 14th through the 18th. I had an opportunity to talk to a few of the participants that had no idea what they were expecting to participate in, and they really enjoyed the workouts, the information that they received, the training, so that was a good opportunity for our youth in the community. So thank you so much for that, Youth Police Academy. They also put a bug in my ear about developing some type of PAL organization or something like that for our community. I want to echo Dr. Caldwell. National Night Out was awesome. Very well attended, good crowd. Good food. It was good seeing the community out and supporting, so that was a great thing. Thank you all for the reports. We take these reports and we read them and we go through them and we look at the data and we look at what's been done, and we really appreciate those items. In terms of meeting participation, Recreation Committee, I have that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Timbuktu, we're looking forward to having a Timbuktu in September at the end of the month. More information to follow, and thank you all for coming out again.
It's my turn. Fortunately, I don't have much to say. My fellow committee members pretty much covered it all. I will say, I haven't been to another national night out. Only ones I've been to have been in West Hampton, and they just seem to get better and better. So, I commend the police for, getting these things done. I commend and also for the camp that they ran with the kids. The kids really seem to enjoy it every year, and it's a lot of repeat kids that come, and their families enjoy everything that they're doing. So, one of the things that I said, I was able to speak there is that, being a kid, I've said this several times, the first ticket I ever got was in West Hampton. I think at some point we should look up who gave me the ticket, but that's another day for another conversation. But, to be a kid and get pulled over, it's a little bit scary, and I think that the more that we reach out to the community and we get into those situations with these kids that are coming up that we get to know, it gets to be a lot easier situation, and they get to be face-to-face with people that they trust, right, or people that they've seen before. So I think that that's helpful to start from the bottom and help groom these kids to know that you guys are on their side and they're there to help them. And I think that can do nothing but help our community. Secondly, Public Works, I know Chris is out there and he's working hard trying to make sure everything gets done with the parking lot and supervising that process. I'm sure it's not easy. So I appreciate your help in trying to get those things done. I know that we talked about the trees from the turnpike, and I'm sure we'll get an update on that. A lot of people are interested in that process. And I can't leave out Craig. The Willows, they wanted to do something, and they wanted to do something with have the fire truck out there and get some support and help. And so, I reached out to Craig and sent Craig the phone number, and Craig's like, I got it. I'll take care of it. So that's always really helpful when you have people that want to do well for the community and want to work hard. And so you're not carrying a load yourself, and you know that when you reach out to the leaders of the township that they're going to be helpful to the community and help bring everyone together. So, I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate the hard work that everybody puts in every day. Sometimes it's unseen. People are here on the weekends. If you ever ride by the parking lot, you got Kim popping in on Sundays. You got, Jim, they're sharing an office, and we've had people say before, no one ever shares an office. But they share an office just because there was no other space, right? And this is how the work has to get done. So sometimes it's not about you, it's about the work that has to get done. So I also want to say I see Lakeisha in the back, and, I'll share this, Lakeisha, and she didn't come here for that, I'm sure. Luckily, she didn't come to complain, but, she had, But, there was a point that we would get, a lot of feedback about, the service of the township, and I've had people who go and work through many townships, like who actually flip homes, and they would say that there's most townships don't provide good customer service, they just provide a service. And that's something that I know once you had Jim and Sherrod and Kim and the rest of the staff here, that something that we angled to do. And there was a point that someone said something on Facebook, and they named Lakeisha and they named Charlene and the people up front about the service they provided, and they did highlight Lakeisha as far as someone who always answers the phone and who's always pleasant. And, so I screenshot that and I sent it to her, and it was like I just, that she just won a brand new car. Like, she was so happy that someone was able to recognize the work that she put in. And it's always good to have leaders all over the building, and the fact that we have leadership in front of the building, right? When customers come in, when residents come in, I think that that's helpful. And so I appreciate her as well. Ma'am, about the CAC situation, the best thing we can do is put you in the best hands that we have. Vince Knott will help you. He's helped everyone, and you guys will figure it out. And what I would ask, you're welcome, and what I would ask is, if for some reason you continue to have a hard time, I know Vince will take care of it, but if you can't go to Vince, you can always go to Jim, you can always go to Sherrod, you can always go to many people who are going to try to make sure that they find a resolution for you. But that doesn't mean you can't come to us either. So, anytime you feel like you want to come up and spread a few words, and please do. Thank you, ma'am. And with that being said, we will now enter executive session and will not be returning to an open meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.